Hey guys, so today I will be talking about meeting Panic at the Disco. So, first off and foremost, I was kind of freaking out about times and stuff because you have to check in at a certain time and the venue is like an hour away. But besides that, we get there on time. Thank the Lord. There's about 30 minutes before check-in. I run into my friends. All is dandy. We get our little VIP things there. And we're standing in line. And while we're there, Panic does sound check. I'm dying, okay? Just the minute they walk on stage, Brendan screams into the microphone kind of, and I scream. And I'm the only one who screams because Brendan screamed. Anyway, so that happened and they sound checked Emperor's New Clothes and Golden Days and This Is Gospel. And during This Is Gospel, there's this one harmony part in the song, and I basically did the harmony with Brendan, and I died. Anyway, yeah, so I am just trying to calm myself down. I'm like, okay, it's sound check, it's fine, it's not happening yet, it's chill, it's fine, okay. And then Zach Hall comes out and he's like, hey guys, so here's the rules, stuff like that. And if you don't know, that's their bodyguard. And yeah, and his his little speech before meet and greet was really funny. And he just basically said the do's and don'ts and whatever, and it was great and it was chill. It didn't help me though. I think it made it worse. It got me to rush a little bit. Honestly, it made me rush quicker than I would have. We're basically in the first group of 10 people to meet Panic. So I'm dying because I'm we're gonna meet them soon, soon. So music starts playing, they walk in, I'm having a heart attack. I'm like, oh god, this is real. This is happening. What the heck? I peek around the corner just to see what the order is, because when you walk in, you only see the backdrop. You don't actually see them. And I had to know the order just to make sure that, I would have everything prepared in my head to say. So, it's my turn to go. It was Dan first. So I was just like, you're awesome, because I didn't know what else to say. I was so excited. There isn't a lot I could say to Dan anyway, though, because he's fairly new, and yeah. I know he was in the band Valencia, and I liked one of their songs back in 2010 or something like that. So I knew about Valencia, but it was just going so fast that I was just like, you're awesome. And then it was Dallin. So first off, Dallin is beautiful, but he's so far away because I'm short, okay? I am 5'2". He's 6'3", 6'2", something like that. So he's basically a foot taller than me. And so I was just kind of looking at him oh, there he is. But immediately I was just I love the Brobecks, because I really do. But at that moment, he was talking to Zach, and I was like, hello, I'm down here. But no, yeah, when I said it, even though he was slightly distracted by Zach, he still managed to hear me, probably because of the word Brobecks. He was probably oh crap, a fan of my music. Yeah, so he did acknowledge me right before I went to Brendan. Just I just looked at Dallin for 2 more seconds. He looked at me, all fine and dandy. I don't know if he said thanks, or if he just nodded or smiled, something like that. Oh. Brendan! Boy, dear. I get to Brendan. My eyes just I got tunnel vision staring at his face. And if you don't know what that is, that means when you look at someone, like, or anything, and like the vision around you just starts tunneling in, it's like darker around the edges. That's what happened, and it just framed his face. And so it was like dark, and then his face was just like illuminated, and it like it was something out of like the movies, like when the person sees the love of their life again or whatever, and it's just like magical, and they just see them like painted like a god. Like, that's exactly how I saw Brendan. Like, I've never looked at anyone like that in my life. It was so, like, I was so shocked and in awe of his beauty. Like, this is not an exaggeration. Like, I was so in shock that I took his hand, and I would kind of remember what his hand felt like, kind of. Like, I would like to remember that, because I'm weird, and band guys, and, you know, I touched Brendan, okay? I touched all of them, but, you know what I mean? It's just something to remember. So I'm shaking his hand, and I'm just like, I love you, and I'm like, that was the first thing that came out, because, what else was I gonna say? I don't even know. Like, I was dying. It was crazy. And then I had to look away from him for like 2 seconds, and then I was just like, you're my favorite person ever. And he was all like, thank you, like something like that. He had like this like permanent smile on his face. It was really, really cute, and I know he does that. Like, I know he's like very sweet. He's very smiley to everyone, and so it was sweet. It was sweet. And then I got to Kenny, and I feel bad because I was so distracted by Brendan that when I got to Kenny, I took his hand. I was about to say what I was going to say, and he did this weird thing with his hand where when you shake a person's hand, you're like this. He goes like this. Like, I grab his hand, and he goes like this. I'm like, okay. And he was like, oh, well, that was awkward. And I was like, I liked your solo music. Like, I didn't know what to say. Like, I couldn't respond to that because I already had what I wanted to say in my head, and I couldn't say anything else. Like, nothing else was coming to me. So I just said that. He was like, thank you, hope you have a great show. And I was like, oh my god, thanks. And then I went back looking at Brendan. At this point, I can't even process the fact that I'm staring at him anymore. Like, I can't just look at him anymore. My mind is like, cannot compute. I look back at him, and I was like, can we do like the high heels pose? And he was like, oh yeah, the thing. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay. So we all did that. And literally, I only told Brendan. Like, I don't know if any of the guys heard it, but thankfully, I'll show you the picture at the end of this video. But thankfully, they all did it, except for Kenny, and you'll see. But it was great, and I died. And then, right before I left, I like looked at all of them, but mainly looked at Brendan again. And I was like, thanks. It was great. Not like that. I was pretty normal. Like, I was pretty chill with them. Me and my friend left. I was dead, and I couldn't even process it till about like 20 minutes after it happened. 20, 30 minutes after it happened. That's when I processed what happened. Yeah, I died. I told Brendan I loved him, and it was a moment. Like, literally, I've never had a moment with a human being in my life before. But that was the most magical thing ever. Anyway, the concert was great. I died. Golden Days Live was literally the best thing to ever happen. Okay, like, that's like my second favorite song off of Death of the Bachelor. Shirtless Brendan is 10 out of 10. Just wanted to tell the meet and greet portion of the story because it was amazing. And I'm really happy about how the picture turned out. They all look like goofs, except for Dallin. Dallin looks pretty. Well, and Kenny looks like a model. Anyway, I'll show you what I mean. But yeah, it was beautiful, and I'll treasure it forever.